In Afghanistan, security is tight after a suicide bomber wearing a military uniform struck the entrance of the Interior Ministry in Kabul. At least 6 police were killed and several others were wounded. The bombing is the latest attack in a wave of violence in Kabul amid Taliban threats to disrupt nationwide elections to be held this weekend. In Iraq, the campaign for upcoming parliamentary elections officially kicked off. In the northern city of Kirkuk, people showed support for candidates by putting up flags and flyers, and campaign signs blanketed the town. Iraqi Prime Minister Nouri al-Maliki is bidding for a third term when voters go to the polls on April 30th. In Pakistan, the governor of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province said he'll recommend that traders and businessmen be issued weapons to ensure their security. His statement came at a meeting in Peshawar in which businessmen complained about the lack of security in their community. Kidnappings are on the rise in northern Pakistan, which led authorities a few months ago to issue gun licenses to doctors. In Kazakhstan, dozens of people gathered at the headquarters of the People's Bank in Almaty to protest following reports that some people had their mortgage debts written off. The protesters demanded a list of those whose debts were forgiven, but bank officials refused. Mortgage holders in Kazakhstan formed a movement to protect their rights during the recent housing crisis. In Kyrgyzstan, the relatives of some 90 protesters killed during the uprising against President Kurmanbek Bakiyev 3 years ago demonstrated in Bishkek. They protested a move by prosecutors to acquit 28 members of the special forces who were accused of opening fire on demonstrators. An advisor to President Almazbek Atambayev called for the protests to remain peaceful. In Moscow, people who had deposits in the closed-down Master Bank protested in front of the State Duma, demanding that their money be returned. The depositors said government officials should confiscate the assets of the former owners of Master Bank to repay them. Master Bank was closed by authorities in November after allegations of fraud. In Iraq, engineering students at Basra University celebrated University Day on April 1st by dressing up in various costumes, despite a warning from the dean not to do so. The students' parades caused controversy in Iraq in 2012 when the president of a Baghdad university condemned a carnival-style graduation party. The university president later apologized after being filmed damaging students' decorations and insulting students, calling them, quote, donkeys. In Turkmenistan, a ceremony kicking off a month of state-sponsored sports activities was held in Ashgabat. Last year's festivities lasted a week, but Turkmen President Gurbanguly Berdimuhamedov ordered them extended this year. The event aims to promote physical activity, with students and state workers expected to take time off to exercise. And that's the video roundup from Radio Free Europe, Radio Liberty.